In today's video, we are doing a bell housing alignment. It's something I actually did last year, and since I filmed that, that is what you're gonna see next. So I'm just gonna clean up these edges right here on the block, as well as the surface on the crankshaft. I'm going to use one of these little green pads. They make quick work of paint and grime and whatnot, but they don't remove any material on metal, so they're really good. Our QuickTime block plate, that's on. The flywheel, hey, where's my dowel? I need a dowel. So I did some reading, and the dowel pin that goes right here is to index the flywheel for externally balanced engines. But because I have an internally balanced engine, we can keep going without the dowel pin. So I tried my best to get a parallel measurement, which is the flat surface here. Not easy because there's gaps here and here and here. And as I turned over the engine, I had to pull up this plunger across those gaps. And according to this, I'm about 4.5 thou out in this corner right here. Before I consider that as accurate, I'm going to install this measuring plate right here, part number RM130. It's kind of required if you have a T56 transmission like myself. So we'll put that in, we'll bolt this up, torque it down, and then we'll redo that measurement. So I got some help with this. Thank you, Scotty, appreciate that. And we found out that the crankshaft was, the end plane, it was throwing the numbers out. So as we spun it around, the dial indicator would be all over the place. So what we had to do is we spun it about 1/8 of a turn at a time, take the end plate out, get a measurement, and away we went. The outer numbers right here is what we had. So we're about 2.5 thou out there, 1 thou out there and whatnot. And so what we did is we put in some shims, and these are the shims you need. They're a slotted shim. This is 1 thou. You can get them in all kinds of different sizes. Tough to find. Thankfully, I had a friend that had some of these. Whew, big help. Otherwise, a full pack is like, well, you get the big packs, they're like $300, but even the small ones are like 80. Expensive things, so hopefully you can find one. In any case, we got our parallel down to, well, I guess within spec. So where are we out? Less than 2 thou, which, you know, split the difference. That's 1 thou out. So we're good. We can now move on to the concentric. So what I've determined was this area right here is our 0. We're about 3 thou out right there, which means split that in half, 1.5 thou out. We are well within spec. We are good, which is very good news because I did not want to have to get new dowels. Awesome. So I just wanted to mention a couple of things when you're doing your bell housing alignment. First, you absolutely have to get your parallel alignment done first, which means adding shims, or maybe you don't have to, whatever. That has to be done first because it will 100% affect your concentric. So once that's done, move on to your concentric alignment. And you'll see a lot of instructions out there that say you need to figure out what your measurement is here, to the left, to the right, and then down there on the bottom. You don't have to do that. What you need to do is find your high point or your low point, wherever that is in the circle when you're doing your round. Zero that out, and then theoretically, 180 degrees from that should be the high point or the low point, or whatever you have it set at. You can see mine was, you know, zeroed out from this spot right here, and from this spot here is where it was on the other end. And if you look at that line, just like that. And that's what we want to know, because let's say that this was 14 thou. I was off that much. I would need a 7 thou offset dowel, and I would orientate those dowels so it moved the bell housing in that line exactly, and then you would be perfect. So that's just the easiest way to do it, if you ask me. I just wanted to quickly talk about the orientation of your dial indicator. Ideally, you want your indicator to be 90 degrees to the surface that you're measuring, but sometimes it's just not possible, and that was how it was in my case. So I tested the variances that you would get with your indicator at different angles. So I have my Bellhousing torqued up with the shims and everything, and at 90 degrees, I got 3, 5, 5, and 2. With the indicator at 45 degrees, I got 4, 9, 8.5, and 5. And then finally with the indicator at roughly 30 to 35 degrees on multiple different axes. So one here and one here. I got 5, 8, 7.5, and 5. So based on my test, if you have your indicator on an angle, your reading should actually be higher than if it was correctly positioned at 90 degrees to the surface. Now, keep in mind, I don't think I would ever want to run it at such extreme angles, but if you are, 15, 20 degrees off, I think you'll be okay. For whatever reason, when I got this engine rebuilt for the second time, things have changed, and I don't know why. I've always been within spec on my Bellhousing. However, now we're on the edge. I require 4 thou of shims up here to get my parallel alignment correct. I am now within 1 thou all the way around, which is great. But it does throw out my concentric alignment. You can now see I'm 10 thou out right here. However, if I pull 2 thou out here and here, that does bring my concentric to about 7 or 8 thou, which technically I'm within spec because, 7, 8 divided by 2, that's 4 thou. Even 10 divided by 2, that's 5 thou. And 5 thou technically is still within spec. But because I like to have things as good as they possibly can be, and honestly, I kind of want to show you guys how to change to offset dowels. It's something I've never done before. I went ahead and bought some offset dowels. These are the Rob MC offset dowels. These are 7 thou. And these are the ones to get. They're relatively inexpensive, at least compared to the competitors. Some of the other ones that are of this design are crazy expensive. And these are a lot better designed than the cheaper ones. So yeah, Rob MC is the way to go. If you're in the United States, Jody's Transmission is a good place to get them. If you're in Canada, Gears to Go is a good place to get them. Now, you can see on my Bellhousing that I am 10 thou out right here, and you can see in the direction I am low in this direction, so I need to bring my Bellhousing up in this direction. The question is, how do I transfer this information onto the block? Because all this is going to be pulled off when I pull off the Bellhousing. Well, I have an idea. So I've gently C-clamped a level to my Bellhousing, and now I take a straight edge and I run it across, flush with my level, like so. And then I draw a line on the block. I'll do this at least 2 points. So now I have a reference point that I can redraw the exact position of that line onto my block. To get these dowels out, in some cases you can just take a hammer and a punch and just pop them out from the front. But obviously I can't do that on this side because of the oil filter housing right there. I just can't get anything in there. So I'm left with a couple of options. And one is to try to squeeze it out. And I'm going to test that on this side with a C-clamp and socket. And I think it might work. Oh yeah, that's going to work for sure. Well, as far as I can get with that bolt. What the heck? Already got it. That was easy. I think this is gonna work. Well, I got it. I just had a couple of nuts stacked on this side, and then obviously the socket on the other, and yeah, it pushed it out. So that's awesome. And these are reusable if needed. The other way to do it is you can drill a hole down the center of your dowel and then tap it, and then you can pull it out that way. So, but it obviously ruins the dowel. So I like this way. This is a 7 thou offset dowel. They come in 7, 14, and 21 thou offsets. And the offset is on the side with the part number engraved into it. And I just put a little mark with a Sharpie. And you're going to point that in the direction that you want to move your bell housing. So I use these points that I drew on the block to finish off the line down my flywheel. And that gives me the straight line that I'm looking for. And I just need to line up this point with that. And then make sure your set screw is loose. And then pop these in. I'll do it one-handed, but oh, there it goes. So it's nice and loose. So now I can rotate this 9/16 wrench and I'll press this in with the C-clamp. There we go. Right there. Now if you find that they're a little bit long, you can cut these down if you so choose, but because I have the blocker plate, I think the length will be helpful for me. Now you could eyeball that mark with your reference line, but that can be a little challenging. So what I did is I took a square and I pinched it with the flat of the dowel. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Like that. And then, oh, there we go. You can see I'm pretty much in line. That's pretty good. This side, a little trickier. I had to put in a ruler just to bring that edge this way. And then I did roughly the same thing. And I feel like that's a pretty accurate way of aligning your dowels to your reference line. Snug up your set screws and then you can put everything back on and remeasure. All right, this is bullshit. I put the 7 thou offsets in, it moved it exactly in the direction that I wanted to, and it is now 10 thou out the other direction. So it moved it 20 thou. That's impossible. Well, I don't have an explanation. I did measure the dowels, and they are the correct 7 thou ones. You can even see just how little of an offset there is there. Like, that's nothing. So these are correct. I did rip everything apart, put it all back together, and I came out to the exact same measurement in the exact same spot. So my measuring technique is correct. I even flipped the dowels 180 degrees. So it's now turned that way, moved the bell housing in the wrong direction, and sure enough, that 10 thou grew to 24 thou. So it moved it 14 thou. Like I said, I don't know. What I ended up doing was I kept an offset dowel in the left side, but I put in a GM offset or zero offset dowel in the right side, which does make putting on the bell housing quite tight, but it does fit. And that seemed to work because now in this bottom corner right here, I'm only 4 thou out, and that's TIR, total indicator reading. So divide that by 2, I am 2 thou out. Done. I'm happy with that. Now I'll take my torque wrench and I'm going to torque this dowel to 48 inch-pounds. That's it. So I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure you align your bell housing to ensure good shifts and a long-lasting transmission. If you follow this procedure, I am sure for 99% of you, you will have things go the way it's supposed to, including if you use the Rob MC dowels. I'm sure they are fine. It's just for some reason, strange anomalies happen for me and I can't explain it. If you found this video helpful and you liked it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.